I would like to welcome you to a short course, The Anatomy of a Sales Event. My name is Peggy Taylor, and I'll be your presenter. So, what are we going to be covering here? We're going to be talking about buying merchandise and moving it through your store and either selling it at regular prices or putting it on sale or having an event in order to liquidate the merchandise. So, where do we begin? The first step is to go to market and purchase your inventory. Um, Sometimes when you're at market, you are unsure about what you should get. Sometimes you see things that you didn't have in mind, and so you do a little impulse buying, and then you're not sure if you like it better than your customers will like it, or if it's going to be a big hit. Anyway, it's the process of going to market. And everyone does it, and everyone has to try it in order to figure out what's really right for their store. So we go to market and we buy our merchandise. The first thing we're going to do when we get back from market is take that merchandise and put it in our store. Or when it arrives, by the UPS guy, we're going to arrange it in our store and make it visually appealing so that our customers will want to buy it. It needs to be someplace near the front of the store and look as good as you can possibly make it look. Everybody has their own way of arranging their stores, and that's something that's your style. It's something that says your store is who it is. So there is no particular way that's better than the other, as long as you have the items displayed correctly, and you can also display items with other items so that people might, let's say if they're going to buy a top, maybe they want to buy a pair of pants also. If you have those displayed together, then there's a better chance that they'll see how good they look together and they'll buy them. So your merchandise is starting to arrive. And when you were at market, you bought rat catchers, the latest designs in rat catchers. And you assumed that all of your customers were going to want these, so that's why you bought it. And they're just going to go flying off the rack. True or false? You know, sometimes what we think is a good deal, the customers, for whatever reason, don't like. So let's say that that's what happens to you. If you have your 3 rat catchers styles that you bought, and let's say the 2 white ones are selling great, but the colored one is not selling well at all, what do? Do you just leave it there and hope that someone will come along and buy it? Or do you try to take a timely markdown, let's say a 15% markdown while it's in season, or a 20%? Just for the colored one. Don't put the ones that are selling, don't mark those down. Just you're trying to bribe your customers to buy that one that nobody seems to want. So some people will probably go for it, and you'll get rid of some of them, but you might get stuck with some of them too. So the timely markdowns are extremely important in a retail store. And why is that? If you don't take those markdowns in season, the time the season is over, you're going to have items that nobody wants. They didn't want them to start with. They don't want them in the end. And so instead of a 15% markdown, you'll be taking a 75% markdown or even more. So it's much better to get as much money out of it as you can in the beginning than it is to wait until the end and get almost nothing. Well, now we've gone through our season and most of our merchandise is gone, but we still have a lot of stuff and we need to get rid of it. So we need to mark it down and move it out. And by now you're probably feeling stressed and in a whirlwind because you have a whole supply of summer items that are still left and your fall items are coming in. And what will you do next? Well, it's time to plan. Sit down and make a plan and decide exactly what you're going to do. If you're smart, you will know that this was going to happen because it happens every year, and you will have made your plans in advance. The sooner you make your plans, it could be 6 months before the event, the better the event will be. So here are some ideas to help you decide what you're going to do. First of all, you have to ask yourself, why am I doing this? And the reason is you're moving out all this inventory. You have to move it out. You can't save it till next year, because if no one wanted it this year, they probably won't want it next year either. You need to get it out. Why do you need to get it out? Because you need the money. That money is cash. That's part of your cash flow. You can use that money to buy good inventory that people will buy. We already know we're not going to get anything for it, so why save it and save it and save it and save it and get even less and less as time goes by? Just cut your losses and take your money and go buy something else. So who are we doing this event for? Who's going to be coming? There are very few people who walk through your store who are as good and as loyal as your best customers. Those are the people who come back over and over and over again, and those are the people that you should gear every event you have to, because they are your tried and true, and you don't want to gear events to unknown people or the entire world. You have a very small group of people who are going to be shopping in your store because you're a tax shop. And so you really need to gear it to your best customers. So that's who you're going to want to come to your event. And who'll be working during the event? You need to have your best help, the best sales clerk, your best team. You need to put it together and have the best people there, because they are the ones who are going to help you make the most money during your event. So what exactly do you plan to do for your event? You'll have to sit down and decide. You'll have to make some plans. It needs to be fun. It needs to be something uh, that can be done easily, but it can be fun and profitable for you. You also need to know, what will it cost to do this. So you have to make some plans. You have to decide what you're going to do and what each thing will cost. When will you be doing this? You are the only one who knows when the exact perfect date is to do this. So you'll have to talk about it and figure out the best date and set that date for your event. Where will it be? Will it be in your store? Will it be a sidewalk sale? Will it be a tent sale? Or maybe it'll be all three of those. How? How much will you mark items down? You know, a lot of people have these sales, they're like 3 weeks long. Your event can be 3 weeks long also. The first week you can mark, of the first week of your event, you can mark stuff down, let's say 30%. The second week, 40%. The third week, 50%, or you can do it even more than that. It can be 40, 50, and 60. You're the one who has to make the decision of what you're willing to do, and also the amount of inventory you have left will sort of tell you what you should be doing. So these are the kind of things that you need to be working on. One very important thing you need to do is get together with your team, your sales team, and do some brainstorming. Sit down and figure out what exactly you're going to do. And doing this a week before the event is not a good idea. You really need to be making these plans at least 2 months, maybe even more than that before the event, maybe 6 months. I personally believe that everybody should have a marketing calendar, and your marketing calendar can tell you exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it. You'll plan your sales according to your marketing calendar. You'll plan your marketing according to your sales. It's all tied in together. It's all part of a successful retail store. But you need to brainstorm with your sales team and figure out what you're going to do. Just sitting around and talking. One person might come up with an idea, and that idea by itself may not be so hot, but by the time someone else goes, oh yeah, that's good, and we could do this too, that gives you the opportunity to come up with great ideas. So get together with your team and make it happen. Now, a good way to do this is to start at the end. You know, what you want to do is have an event and end up with no inventory left. So start at the very end and work back to the beginning. That's how you can decide exactly what you're going to be doing and when you're going to be doing it. The best thing, like I said, is to start at the end. Let's say it's going to be a 3-week sale. Okay, so we know what you really want to have when you get done is no inventory left. So you need to decide what you'll be doing in week 1, what you'll be doing in week 2, what you'll be doing in week 3, and all of the things that you'll be doing during those weeks to make your event fun and exciting for your customers. This event should be something that people are still talking about 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So, I mean, that's how exciting this needs to be for your customers to keep them coming back. So, how are you going to remember all this stuff that you're planning? Well, you can write it down, you can take notes, you can do a number of things. You can get a spreadsheet, or you can get Trella. This app is an awesome app for planning. It's free. You can sign up for it. Your salespeople can sign up for it, and you can all be linked together. You can all write your notes in there, and everything feeds off of the next, and it all gets saved. That's the best part about it. It all gets saved in this, so that next year when you plan another event, you can look back and go, oh, you know, this didn't work too hot last year, but this worked great. And it just helps you remember. Because, I mean, from our clients, we hear all the time, oh, once we did a sale, but I don't remember exactly how we did it or what we did or whatever. So having it in something that's permanent is a good idea. The good thing about Trello is that you can have it on your computer, you can have it on your iPad, you can have it on your laptop, you can have it on your cell phone, and your whole team can have it, and you can all be connected together without having to be in each other's face. So it's time to get the show on the road. So let's get some serious planning done. What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? Well, for the sake of this course, I've decided that our event is going to be old TV westerns. And I selected that topic because you guys are tack shops. Now, you might not be a western tack shop, but you're a tack shop and you deal with horses and stuff, so you can have cowboys. Anyway, the event has to have a little bit of everything. It needs to be fun. It needs to be party fun. Your staff could be wearing Western clothes. You can encourage your shoppers to wear Western clothes or riding attire. You can give awards for the best dressed cowboy or cowgirl. You can decorate your store with a theme around old Western TVs. And don't forget to take pictures and put them on Facebook and Instagram and any place else that you might be sharing images so that your customers can see it, and that would get them excited and bring them into the store. They're going to want to shop and see what's going on. So if you plan out far enough in advance, that gives you plenty of time to order inventory just for this event. You might find some lesser priced t-shirts or something, anything, and that you can actually afford to give away. Or you might find some little goodies of some kind you could give away. Favors, that sort of thing. You might also find some items that are priced right to say buy one, get one free. But all of this takes planning. You can't wait until the last minute to get those kind of deals. You have to plan it out in advance. When you're going to market, you might be able to find something at market that is priced right. You also need to make sure that you have the right appetizers, the right food, the right drinks. These are some ideas that I found just by going online and searching. Blackberry lemonade, chocolate mint soda, apple cider, mint juleps for drinks. For appetizers, something that might be sort of fun would be haystacks, pork and beans, jerky, pickled eggs, etc. That just gives you an idea. The sky's the limit on all this. You can search around or come up with any idea you want to. And don't forget, we also need to have some music. We need some Western music or some horse music or cowboy music or whatever, so that everyone's in the mood. I went online and investigated this also, and I came up with a lot of songs, and I only have a few of them here, but Don't Fence Me In is an old cowboy song. Crazy Horse, Run with the Roses, the Mr. Ed theme song. Those are all related to horses. And there are tons and tons and tons of songs out there. So make this a fun event. Get excited and go look for stuff. So we also have to think of what are we going to do about giveaways. We can't have an event without giving things away. So you can partner with your local barn for a discount coupon. You can partner with a vet. You can make up a gift bag that you give to everyone who is a horse owner that has horse treats in it. There are just lots of things that you can do. Door prizes. Door prizes are also going to be important. So what could a door prize be? It could, it could be many, many things, but my short list here covers a visit from a special groomer, an hour of writing lessons, a visit from a farrier. You can give them your own gift certificate. And this is a very exciting and fun thing to do, and it draws in a lot of people to shop in your store, is to have everybody who makes a purchase, their sales receipt or a copy of their sales receipt goes into a jar. At the end of the event, there's a drawing, and the name that gets drawn out is the winner, and that person gets their entire shopping list for free. So, and you'll have to decide how you're going to do that, whether or not you're going to reimburse their money to them, or if you're going to give them store credit or a gift certificate for the amount of their sales slip. That's something that would be left up to you to figure out how you will do. Okay, now this event right here is something that can be done by itself as a standalone event, or it's something that you can incorporate in a bigger event like we're talking about here. Now, this is an after-hours VIP party, and the thing that makes it special is that the owner of the store is going to personally get on the phone and invite their top 25 customers. So you'll be inviting them to a very exclusive private viewing of your latest arrivals. So let's say that the merchandise you really need to get rid of is your summer stuff and your fall stuff is already coming in. Well, if you have enough stuff there for them to look at, they can look at the fall stuff, buy the fall stuff, and they might also want to get some of the good deals on the sale stuff too. Everyone in attendance needs to be gifted a small gift to show your appreciation for their business of no more than about $10, your cost of $10, which would be like a $20 retail. So that would be a good deal. Plus, give them an additional 10% off of everything throughout the store, including the sale items. That will just encourage them to buy more. These events are done quite often in ladies' boutiques, and they bring in a bunch of money. So make sure you put this in your plans. The event should be from about 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. or whenever your store is closed. And you should have some wine, champagne, and appetizers to serve. So another twist on this event would be to, let's say, have your top, if you've been in business for a while and you have a big assortment of customers, your top 100 customers, and you could sort the names out in your POS by neighborhoods or by barns, and have 25 people from one area, the top 25 from one area come, and then you could do it 4 times a year and go over your 100-person list by doing it 4 times a year. But do it by location, and that way they have a tendency to talk to each other and go, oh my God, you know what? I got an invitation from so-and-so to a private party And the more they talk about it, the more excited people will get and the more people will buy. So think about doing this. Another type of event you could do is horse related. And that would be maybe you want to partner with a barn and have some kind of maybe a kids event or an adult event uh, on horseback. It could be a scavenger hunt. It could be almost anything. And the winner, there'll be prizes. They have to come back to your store to get the prizes because you're sponsoring this event. And it could be on the weekend or after school someday. And I mean, it's totally up to you how you plan it. But get a partner of a barn to do this with, and you'll find that it's going to be very successful. So the next thing we have to do is think about marketing. The marketing is very important because it needs to be done in a timely fashion. You need to gradually let the news out about what you're doing. And maybe a month before your event, you could say, we're going to have this Western Cowboy 3-week event in our store, and we're going to have all these activities going on and all these prizes and all these door prizes and whatnot. And we're going to have some famous horseback rider come in and talk or whatever you have planned. And start advertising it about a month before and then gradually build up. Don't tell them you're going to be doing a sale. It's just going to be a special fun event with food and drinks and whatever you're going to have. So wait until just a few days before the event begins to tell them that you're going to have something on sale. And the reason for that is if you tell people things are going to be 50% off next week, they're not going to come in this week and buy it at full price. So, or whatever price you happen to have on it this week. They're going to wait to get a better deal. So you don't want to get that information out too soon. So what are the different forms of advertising? These days, most advertising gets done by social media. And it's a proven fact that the best form of advertising, if you do it the right way, is email marketing, e-blasts. You can get away with sending out an email to your customers once a week, providing you're offering something that they want. When you start bombarding them with stuff, they're going to unsubscribe. And it's much better to have images in your emails than it is to have a bunch of text because people don't want to take the time to read anything. So just start thinking about what you're going to do, what you're going to put in there. And if you have a newsletter that you send out, I wouldn't send more than one newsletter out a month because that's lots of text and it requires them to read too much. But if you want to send out images like these are my latest arrivals or these are this is the latest new saddle that I have, that's a better kind of email to send out. So in addition to e-blasts, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are very popular these days. And only you are going to know which one works best with your clients because every client and every store, every age group, they all like different kinds of ways of being contacted. There are still some stores and some people who like direct mail the best. And because less direct mail is being used these days, I mean, it's almost put the post office out of business, but because less is being used, people actually read more of what they get. And so that might be something worth trying for your event. Radio advertising can also be good if you do it at the right time of day and at the time when the people who would be shopping in your store will be listening to the radio. TV can be good if you have the budget for it. And magazines are also on the expensive side. They can be good if the people that you're aiming your event to read the magazine that your ad is in. Now, you can have flyers. The flyers can be passed out all over town. Posters can be hung up on the windows of other stores in your neighborhood. And two weeks before your event, you can start stuffing every single bag you have with bag stuffer telling them about your event. You can also partner with a charity, but when you partner with a charity, you must be very careful because typically what happens is you will tell the charity, okay, on a certain day, I'm going to give you 30% of my proceeds, and we're going to work together. In order for it to work, the charity has to agree to send out the information about your event to their entire mailing list and tell their mailing list that for every one of the people in my charity who go into this store and shop, they are going to give 30% of the purchase that they make to the charity. So it's the charity's people who are making the purchases and the charity's people who are making the event work. And then the charity has earned the 30%. Now, if you don't do it this way, you'll be doing all the work, you'll be giving them all the money, and chances are the results won't be very good. It will be a dud. So you really need to make sure you've got all of that done correctly, or don't do it at all. So now it's time to get ready for the event. The event is almost here, and it's time to decide exactly what you're going to be doing. By now, you know if it's going to be in your store, if it's going to be a sidewalk sale, a tent sale, or what it's going to be. So you have to decide which marketing is going out when and how you're going to be doing that, and you have to get all of your prices marked down. You have to have a clearance location in your store for all of your clear out stuff that you need to get rid of, and don't forget those rat catchers, because if you didn't take a timely markdown on those colored rat catchers, you probably still have all 6 of them, and shame on you if you do. Shame on you. But I'll tell you what, you might as well just go ahead and mark them down the maximum right now, because nobody wanted them before and nobody wants them now. And maybe as a result of this, you might have learned a lesson. I don't know. And don't forget, the purpose of this event is to clear out all of the inventory, because at the end of the season, you don't want any inventory left. So don't be afraid to take the markdowns. It's not going to get better by saving it until next year. Just go ahead and do it and get it over with. Okay, now, here we are. We have 1 day left before the sale, before the event begins. 1 day left before your big party. You need to make sure you have all your ducks in a row. You have the right staff working at the right times. You have the right amount of money in your cash register, just in case people are still paying cash at your store. You have all your items marked down and everything is in its place, and you're just ready to go and looking forward to the big event. So the big day is here. You need to take a deep breath and decide you're going to have fun and make this event something that everyone in your town will remember forever. That all of the people who ride horses and all the people who come shopping with you will be talking about for years to come. So relax and try to enjoy it. I know that sounds difficult, but you can do it. So the crowds have arrived. Everyone's there, and they're rushing through your store, grabbing this and grabbing that, and at the end of the day, the whole place is a mess. Well, there's a good thing and a bad thing about that. The good thing is they probably have bought some merchandise. The bad thing is, at the end of the day, for every day of your event, you've got to straighten up the store and get it ready for the next day. And eventually, it will be over, because your event has a beginning and it has an end. Well, here we are. We're finally at the end. It's all over, and you have survived. If you're lucky, you have a smile on your face, and people are talking about how great it was. And you'll be laughing all the way to the bank. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it in the end. And you're looking forward to your next one. You're already thinking about what you're going to be doing for the next big event you do, because the hardest event to do is the first one that you do. Thank you for taking our short course in planning an event.